Greetings, everyone. I'm Lou Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. Hope everybody's doing well. Wait, I believe that everyone's doing well. I have faith that everybody's doing well, and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm very excited today, yet again, because I have an amazing woman, an amazing guest that's going to enlighten us, is going to inspire us. Her name is Rebecca Oliinka, and she's from the UK. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about her before I allow her to take it away. Now, Rebecca is from the UK, as I just stated, London, and has lived in the UK all of her life. Rebecca has been a practicing social worker for the last 9.5 years and works within adult safeguarding, supporting adults who have experienced abuse and neglect. Wow. Rebecca was a care experienced Black foster child, and one of her passions is helping to transform the lives of Black foster children in the UK. Rebecca is in the process of completing her own memoir on her experiences to inspire and empower other Black foster children to live a life that's powerful and one in which they love. This is her contributing author work. Rebecca's essay on her experience as a Black social worker, Visibly Invisible, the tale of a Black female social worker. Yes, is featured in the anthology book Outlanders from the British Association of Social Workers, which was released in March of this year, 2021. Rebecca will also have her poem, Strong Black Woman, featured in the up and coming Chicken Soup for the Soul book. Wow. I'm speaking now. Black women share their truth in one-on-one stories of love, courage, and hope. This will be released in June or July of this year, 2021. Wow, that's amazing. How are you doing, Rebecca?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. Thank
Yes,
you. I'm
I
really delighted and excited to be on here.
right. I'm excited myself. And just reading what I just read about you, that just brought my energy up, my energy level, my energy levels up maybe 100-fold. So now I want to hear more. So can you elaborate more on what you do, how you were inspired to do it, and just some of your passions that I just read here?
Oh gosh, that's a lot already.
Yes, I think that.
um, so yeah, I'm a but my for what I've been doing most of my life is I'm a Black female social worker. Work with adults who have care and support needs. A piece of legislation called the Care Act, and 2014, that's in the UK. It's going to be different all over the world, so wherever you're watching this, it will be different. But basically, I'm a social worker, and I got into the role in order to support people, to help people. I felt that I was quite a resourceful person, and some of my own life experiences, I just thought, why not just try and help? I really love, to help and connect with people, meet new people. So I just thought that I could make a difference in that field. So that's what led me to do that. Um, and I also, as I was care experienced as well, as you've heard in my bio, I did have two social workers, and I wasn't particularly impressed by the service I received. So
Right.
I wanted to do something different myself, and always aim to be as authentic as possible, as given as possible, and as helpful as possible in my role. So that's what I've aimed to do and inspired to do, really. And all the stuff about what I'm doing around being a care, supporting Black foster children in the UK, that is kind of coming out of my own experiences now. I'm doing quite a lot of writing writing has always been my passion. I've been writing since I was about 13. I always wrote poems, loads of poems. I've still got like a massive book full of poems that I wrote
Wow.
when I was like 13, just to help me process all my emotions, because I feel like I've always been quite a sensitive person. And things have come out, like I've just had things come out of me and I've just had to write them down. And I still do that. But yeah, I do it much more now. I'm really just allowing myself to really um, share my writing with the world, and just connect with people through writing, because I do believe it has the power to connect us. When we
Right.
read stories, when we read poems, you know, we can put ourselves in the author's shoes. We can look at through their eyes of how they're seeing things. And when I've read loads of things, those of things have been applicable to me, even if I haven't experienced those things. There's something that's touched me, that's
Right.
moved me, that's inspired me. So I felt like, if that's what I've got the heart to do, I feel like it's really important to bring that forth and just to do it and to connect with people. And you never know how that could help somebody else by sharing. So that's what I always aim to do.
Right. And that's amazing because, as I was saying to you prior to this segment, that you don't have to agree with everything that someone says, but if that goal, that intention is to be your authentic self, and it's, putting yourself out there, as a writer, um, and sharing your experiences. They might be different experiences than other people, or they may be the same, but something, when you come from your authentic self and you're putting your passion out there, oftentimes somebody is going to find something that they connect with within your story, and
Yeah.
they put themselves in your shoes, um, or they can relate to it directly because it's something similar that they went to. So yeah, I agree with you on that. That writing is a beautiful way to express yourself, a beautiful way to heal and eradicate things, unwanted things, and to bring forth, more good things within yourself. And it's
Yeah.
just all around. It's just beautiful. So yes, I'm looking forward to reading some of your
Yes.
poetry, and and
Thank you.
I'm certain that it's beautiful. You've been writing since you were 13, you say. So I know that you have a lot of you have pretty much uh, figured out
Oh,
a
thank
way to
you.
express yourself, and it's beautiful. Right. So also,
Yeah.
as far as social worker, you said you didn't like a lot of the things that were going on. So what do you feel that you are adding to what was missing as far as social work?
Well, it's a different context, because I had two social workers when I was a child, and I
Wow.
don't do children's social work. I do adults, but I also
Adults.
try
Okay.
to.
Okay.
There's a lot of adults that, yeah, there's a lot of adults that we see that may have trauma, and I think that people don't realize that. So we're treating the symptoms. We're treating the effects, but we're not at and the symptoms, but we're not actually treating the root cause of the
Right.
trauma. That's what I find. And it goes back to things like childhood, like attachments. And there was this, when I was studying to be a social worker, we did this, one of the theories we used a lot of theories in social work, and one of them was attachment theory. And it was around basically your primary caregiver. Your relationship with your primary caregiver can actually have a lasting effect on you when you become an adult.
Right.
And the fact that, understanding that, if you've had a secure attachment where you've had like your parents there and they've been able to give you the love and support you've needed, or you've had an insecure attachment where you're not sure where you're going to get your next, support or love
Right.
from your caregiver, and actually how that runs throughout your life. And you can see it where people are addicted to lots of substances, addicted to a lot of things. And I think also we're not seeing the fact that, I see the extreme part in my work where people are addicted to drugs or alcohol or anything, or other substances. But actually in society, people are addicted to food. People are addicted to shopping. People are addicted to even negative thoughts that can run your life. And, you know, we're not really like, what's the word? We're not always putting that back to actually maybe the attachment we've had in childhood has had a lasting impact on us, and how we've, you know, maybe, you know, if you've been criticized as a child, what you know, how that manifests yourself in adulthood. You could be really critical of yourself. You could find it really hard to trust people, to have those, you know, secure attachments, because you haven't had the strong foundation to have them.
Right.
And I feel like it's the conversation, a wider conversation, that we're going to, and a lot of those things can be, so yeah.
Uh-oh, I think the internet is disconnecting again. Let's see, she'll come back. Uh-oh, are you there? I think the internet is messing up again. Are you there?
Hello? Yeah,
Yes.
I'm here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you, but you're frozen. Oh, you're back now.
Okay, yes, something's going on with the internet here. But no, we'll keep moving right along. So that's beautiful. So that you're able to the type of person you are, you're really sympathetic, and you're an empath. You feel you know, things within other people, and want to make a change and a difference in these things. And that's the type of people we need, in especially in places like that. People that are sensitive to,
Yeah.
you know, those needs, and no matter what is happening on a day-to-day basis, can still keep that fire and that passion to want to do, you know, what's right, and help heal, and you know, assist people in their healing. And that's awesome that you're in place to do that. It seems as if you found, you know, your passion in the right place, that you are needed to
Yeah.
help humanity. So that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think, I mean, when I thinking about Black foster children, and I think it's more around the stuff that I've been through as, you know, Black care experience foster child, because I, you know, I, for a long time, I couldn't even say that I was a Black care experience foster child. I couldn't say it. I just felt like there was this massive block, and I couldn't talk about it, and
Right.
nobody wanted to know. Nobody really cared anyway. And it's only since I've been, you know, speaking about it much more, speaking to my siblings a bit more about those things, it really opens up, and also you can connect with other people who've had similar experiences. But what I found as well is that a lot of Black foster children in the UK are being forgotten, and
Right.
it's no fault of their own. It's to do with things like institutional racism. It's to do with policies and that are not geared up to actually see them as children. There's even been research. I've got a friend of a friend who she's done a lot of research on, you know, adultification, which is where you see, you know, young Black children as adults rather than seeing them as children. So you're you know, you're giving them that label as being adults way before their time.
Right.
And then obviously that changes the perception of how you would interact with them, not only how you would interact with them, but also how you would support them. because you
Right.
would support them possibly as an adult who would know lots of different things, who's developed and is more mature than their age. And that is a massive failing, I feel.
Yes.
And I think it's more because we haven't had those conversations. And I think I was drawn to it, not just because of my experiences, but because I see a lot of outcomes for foster children, but it's always been white foster children. It's not been a lot of black foster children. There's not been a lot of research and support there. So I was just thinking, well, what can I do to contribute? And if my experiences, talking about my experiences, will help, then, you know, that's something that I'm willing to do,
Right.
because I want things to be different. I don't want somebody to go through some of the pain and a lot of the things that I went through. I mean, why should they have to in 2021? It's, you know, it's time for things to stop. It's
Yes.
time for things to be different. Um, you know, because when I was fostered, there was policies in place. There was like the Children's Act, which is a
Right.
major piece of legislation in the UK. And that came around, I may have got the year wrong, but 1989. That was a major piece of legislation. And, you know, it had things around fostering, safeguards, but, you know, in my case, they weren't put in place. And I do feel that that's still the case for a lot of, particularly black foster children. That's still the case
Right.
for them. And I just feel that there needs support there. And I always, so I just feel that that's a way of making a difference, really.
Wow. And that's amazing that you are taking your experiences, and instead of um, allowing those experiences to make you resentful and bitter, you are using those experiences as fuel to propel you to help other people, and to use your experiences, you know, as an examples for other people. That's amazing. You there? Oh, I think I lost her again with this connection. I'm not sure what's going on. You there? You there?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm
What
here.
I was saying
Yeah.
is, yeah, I think it's something to do with the connection, but we're rolling right along. It doesn't matter. It's not going to stop us from doing what we're doing. What I was
Okay.
saying is that is amazing that you are allowing your experiences that you have to not make you resentful and negative and more bitter towards the system or anything, but to want to be part of the solution and using your experiences to actually help other people. And I think that's a beautiful thing when we can do that, take our adversities and allow them, use them as fuel to propel us even
Yeah.
higher. And that's what you
Yeah.
have done. That's what you are doing now. And I think that's
Yeah.
one.
Thank you. I mean, it's still work in progress, because what you said about resentment and bitterness, I think there was times in my younger life where I did feel, I wouldn't say bitter, but maybe
Right.
upset and more
Right.
angry.
Of
I
course.
was quite an angry teenager, of things that happened to me. And I always never felt that I had my own personal power to do anything about it, to change
Right.
things, to flip the script, basically. I always felt like things were done to me rather than
Right.
actually I could be a cause in the matter. I didn't
Right.
feel like I could be a cause in the matter. And one thing in relation to writing has really helped me to develop that. And actually, you know, actually creating words that weren't there before is to me is some kind of magic.
Right.
And, you know, it helps me to be cause in the matter and say, well, actually, this is, you know, I don't like this.
Right.
What's the point of me continuing to say that I don't like it and not try and do anything about it? And
Exactly.
it's, you know, I just feel like there is a time to, you know, to move forward and to actually really, I've read a lot of like self-development and personal growth books, and they all talk about action, taking action, and that sometimes can be the hardest thing to do, because
Right.
you are scared. You're scared of, coming out, failing, people not liking you, people disagreeing with you, like we spoke about earlier. But and also rejecting you, because that's one of our human fears, right?
Right.
Is a fear of rejection. But at the same time, I do believe and believe more and more that your tribe will find you, and you will be aligned with people who will support
Right.
you and that you can support as well. And there
Right.
will be people there who want to listen. Not everyone's going to, and that's fine.
That's
And
fine.
being okay with that. And
Absolutely.
actually, continue to work on myself while I'm doing all these things is really helping, is helping the journey. Is really helping. And I feel like if I can, I can give that to someone else who may be struggling, then
Right.
I'm doing what I'm meant to do.
Right.
Because I feel like we're all put on the earth to do God's work, whether you believe in God or not. Some people don't, which
Right.
is fine, but I do believe in a higher, God. And even if you believe in a higher power or anything, I
Right.
do believe that we're here for a purpose.
Purpose. Right.
We're here to fulfill our passions, and that's what God gives us. God's gift to us is more talent and ability than we could ever use in our lifetime. And our gift to God is to develop as much talent and ability as we can in this lifetime. That's not my quote, that is a quote, and I can't remember
Right.
who said it, but it is a quote, and I love it.
Right. That's amazing. And there's something that stood out that you said earlier, and it's basically about complaining like that won't do anything. Now, naturally, I think that can be a starting point where you complain about something, but I think to develop a mindset where you quickly turn that complaint into turning inward and seeking
Mm,
solutions within, I think that's the
mm,
key, because oftentimes we complain, and to no avail. Nothing's going to happen just from sitting there focusing on what you don't desire will actually keep you stuck there, and it definitely won't change anything around you. If
yeah,
anything, it'll keep things the same. So you
yeah,
have to come from a place of not being comfortable where you are or about a certain situation. Let that just simply be a starting point,
mm,
and then, as you said, start looking within yourself for solutions to get out of that space and to start moving. And
yeah,
you don't have to necessarily know the right steps to take, but just take a step, just like you
mm,
reading certain books and things like that, looking for information that can help. Just start taking steps to
yeah,
help yourself, and then things will start revealing itself.
yeah, they do.
Like, yes,
That is so true. Yeah,
right, and that's all the time. If you if you trust the process, sort of surrender to it, and just know in your mindset that the steps will be revealed, as long as I take the right attitude, towards eradicating things out of my mind and healing. And if you focus on healing, that's what's going to happen. If you focus on being hurt and resent, then that's where you're going to be.
mm,
So,
yeah,
you know and as you
um,
said as well, that I resonate with, we're all here for a purpose. And whether it's like you say, higher power, universe, God, whatever you choose to say, we're all here for a reason, and everything is orchestrated in a way that we all have talents
yeah,
to share with the world, and to in some way help people, to assist people and enhance lives through our
yeah,
talents,
yeah,
through our talents and services to ourselves and humanity. So it's a beautiful thing that you know uh, oftentimes this is the narrative that I get with people that are working on themselves, that are through themselves, through their experiences, helping other people. They all know that
mm,
this purpose, we're here for a reason, a purpose.
yes,
There's higher power, and this higher power is God is here to assist you, and
Mm.
not for a person to place blame or
Yeah.
anything like that, or to feel like that you don't have any power yourself.
Yeah.
You have been given power to create things and to make differences, in your experience, in your lives and the lives of other, and just know that. So
Yeah. And
that's beautiful.
what you're saying is so true, Luke, what you're saying, because it's something that I'm still developing. I'm not like,
Right.
it's a journey, isn't it? I do feel like, um, I think I read something somewhere yesterday where the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And for me, it's a journey. And with this lockdown, it's put me at issue this last, that I don't know what it's like with you in the US, but UK, we're in our kind of weird second to third-ish lockdown, which we're coming out of. I think probably next week things are starting to open up. But the beginning of this year was a real issue for me. And I've had to really look at my mental well-being and really, like, really actually look at really loving myself and encouraging myself and speaking really really good affirmations towards myself, because these things are a journey. We get there by doing, like you were saying, single, like, steps and steps and steps. And it's really easy to at times get stuck in the mire and get stuck in the negativity and the blame. And we blame ourselves, we blame our parents, we blame all sorts of different external things.
Right.
But at the same time, that's always going to keep us stuck, like you said.
Right.
In relation to healing, I feel like is an ongoing process, because there's things that I've had to heal, and it's an ongoing thing. And I'm sure you may feel the same as well, Luke, that healing is something that we do, and it's not a one time, it's an ongoing process that we go through.
And it's
And it's
always gonna,
something
to
that
me,
we
yeah.
continue to work on ourselves. And I've been really.
Right. I believe it's always going to be an ongoing process. You there? Uh-oh. Freezing up again, but we're okay. We're going to slide and just continue to flow through this. You still there? You there?
Yeah. Yeah, we were.
Okay. I think
Yeah, I'm
it'll
still
straighten.
here.
Yeah, it'll straighten up. So yeah, that's
Yes, I'm
beautiful.
here.
Okay.
I'm
You hear
here.
me? Can you hear me? Can
Yeah,
you
I'm
hear me?
still here.
Okay. Yes, that's
Yes,
beautiful.
yes, I can hear you. I can hear
Okay.
you. Yes,
Okay.
yes, I can hear you.
There you go. There you go. Yes, we'll just flow right through it. But
Yeah.
yes, that's beautiful. Thanks for sharing that with us, and with me. Uh-oh. There you go. Yeah. As I was
Yeah.
saying, thank you for sharing, you know, your insight and your perspectives, through your own, journey, and what you are doing to be part of a solution of you know of the problem, of the perceived problem. And that you're one person that it can cause a chain reaction for things to start putting things in motion. And you're here to make things, to make people aware in that, in within the organization and the place that you work for, so, or the people you work with. So that's beautiful. Uh-oh, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. Yeah, I
So
can hear you.
how can we find you? Do you have a website? Do you have social media? How can people find you if they would like to find out more about, you know, what or anything like that, your poems, everything? How can they find you?
Yeah. Well, various different ways. I don't have a website, but I do have social media. So
Okay.
I'm on Facebook,
Okay.
and I'm on Instagram, and I write for the Everyday magazine. and it's an online magazine, so I do some freelance writing for
And
them.
how do you get a
So
hold of that magazine? Is there a website?
if you go to if you go to the website www.theeverydaymagazine.com, I believe it is.
Okay.
I believe it is .com, or it's .co.uk.
Okay.
I never usually do it that way. I'm usually
Okay.
just linked to it. It just comes up for me usually because
Yes,
I'm reading it quite a lot.
Oftentimes I do that too. If I'm connected to something, I won't remember, you know, the address to it because I'm always on it. Yes.
But if you Google the Everyday magazine, then that will come up in one of the, because it's growing, the community is growing. There's about, I think, 500 writers we've got in the community. It's a really lovely way. It just supports people to put out their poems or their written essays, opinion pieces. So, you know, and they've been so supportive of my writing journey. So they're the ones who've given me the confidence to do, to put my work out there more and more. So really grateful for them.
Right.
So you can find me on there and on Facebook, Rebecca Ollie Income on Facebook, on Instagram, Rebecca Loves to Laugh. That's my
Loves to
Instagram.
Love. Okay, I'm gonna have to look you up. I'm
loves to laugh. Yeah,
Instagram as well. Yeah, Luke Bryan Smith on Instagram as well. So yes, and I'll have you send me those links. Message me those links so that I can make sure they're in the introduction on this video, the write-up that I attached to this segment. So that way people can just go to scroll down and click, so that's beautiful. So thank you very much. You still there? Okay.
Yeah, thank
you. Before we conclude, is there any last words or perspectives or ideas or thoughts that you would like to leave us with before we conclude the segment?
Well, because I do get asked sometimes, because I've done a few interviews, and I've got a podcast coming out in a couple of months actually, that was a guest on, and I got asked actually at the end, what advice would you give to somebody who's 10 steps behind you? Right. And I thought that was quite an made me think. But I would, like you said as well, Luke, that you don't need to know everything. You just start with what you have. If you've got an idea, anything that comes to you that feels good is inspiration from God or the universe, whoever you feel drawn to say. I would just say start, and you get the support as you go along, and things will be opened to you as well. I just think that it would be a really sad thing for all of us to go to the grave with the music still in us, so to speak. And as you being a really empowered and enlightened music artist, I'm sure you would agree with that as well. But I just feel like whatever talent, whatever you feel, even if you've never done it before, I just would implore you to start, and also to ask people, who know in that field. And if you don't know, then just research and look up, and just start somewhere. If you've got anything within you, just start. I would say that's definitely what I'd say to encourage everyone.
Absolutely. Beautifully orchestrated. Well, thank you very much for spending some of your time with me, Rebecca. I appreciate it. And I'm sure that everyone who watches around the world will appreciate you as well. I'm thankful. And just thank you for your perspectives, your insights, and your energy here on Enlighten.
Thank you too.
Enlighten, Empowered, Evolved.
Thank you.
Love and appreciation. See you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Luke. Thank you.
You're welcome.